Back over at 7 now, Redman.
This would be an improbable up and down, to say the very least, and he's got 2 good looks at it. So you've got to like his chances.
Jerry, I can't even believe he got it within 10 or 12 feet from down there.
I can't either. Maybe he couldn't see a thing. He was just aiming at a cloud.
Oh!
Wow.
Had the early walk going, thought he had made it, dove left on him.
Had a very, very solid start so far. Obviously, when you're trying to win your first tournament, these first 5, 6, 7 holes are crucial. Done exactly what he needs to do. Got off to a good, solid start. The nerves have been settled. And this is one of those first real, little extra jangliness in the hands here. Makes this will settle things just a little bit more.
So the drop shot, Hickok got 11 under, 3 off the lead as we keep it here and take you back to the tee.
But it doesn't feel like it right now. No, that's what I mean. That's why when I was up there, I didn't feel help. Would you agree when we were by the... Yeah. But when I first walked back here, I thought it was help, and then I didn't. I think it's just left to right. Which then I have no chance. Yeah. So what if he just carved one? Yeah. I want to. It's going to move it to the right. I don't want to finish it any further right than the bushes behind it. All right. Okay. Do you want a wedge? No.
From their perch position, the wind is absolutely just dead across right now. Blowing pretty good. Can't feel anything at the tee, obviously.
It's hard to judge when it's straight across, because if you get riding it a little bit, it actually will help get a little more out of it. If you work it back into the wind, it could be a touch of hurt.
Needs to go just a bit.
Yeah, good shot.
Okay, so just finds the front portion of the green. They'll have a little putt up and over a slight ridge.
And over at the 9th, Australian Matt Jones.
Coming back into the wind, that bunker more in play today. Going to take it a little further right.
Back to the tee at the 8th, Ryan Armour, who is 3 under for the day, 2 back.
82. I like this one better. Yeah.
That 82 number to the front is adjusted. Plays 6-7 yards downhill. Would actually be 189 to the front. True yardage, but nonetheless, Ryan doesn't club off somebody like Wyndham. He's been doing it his whole life and playing his own game and doing it extremely successfully.
And likes to move the ball from right to left.
He's done that here.
Lands it just over the ridge onto the downslope. Yeah, that's a good shot. That's a much simpler putt than the one that Wyndham Clark has.
And up at the 9th, Ollie Schneider-Jans for birdie. Only been 3 birdies here at the 9th so far today. Difficult hole location in the back left corner. Ollie playing on a sponsor's exemption, making the most of it so far.
Last to go, Doc Redman.
And not just for Doc, but for a lot of players in contention today, Justin, this could be a career-altering day. And somebody like Doc, who basically just put it all on the line and said, I'm going to go try and make my way to the tour without qualifying, and did it through a few Monday qualifiers and a second-place finish last year at Rocket Mortgage. A lot of self-belief. That ball's hoisted miles into the air, and he's watching it. Good shot.
Good shot, just short of the slope. And you're right, Jerry. I mean, today's a massive day for all the players in this field, but especially these young guys that trying to pick off their first victory on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, it means everything. I mean, to be able
as it gets over the hill.
Yeah, you can see the grain change there in the green, about 12 feet between Wyndham Clark and the hole. That's where it starts to go downhill. It's down grain going towards the water. Fortunately, the wind not straight behind him.
That was pretty good pace right there.
That was nicely judged.
Over at the 9th, Hickok second.
Just over 133. That's on a lovely low trajectory, just turning a little left.
Oh, just nestled down into the thicker rough there. Sounded like such great contact. He can't see the green, so not quite sure where it ended up.
16, still the hardest hole on the golf course today. 5 birdies there. You see what Denny McCarthy has done so far for 3 days.
And they've moved the tee back today 215 yards. Whoa. Front left hole location, and a beautiful shot.
Half a groove high.
Maybe, but sensational.
Jones on the way.
Certainly got to control the spin here. Everything slopes back to front. That's got to get down. That's going to be tricky.
Yeah. Another one that's just nestled down in the rough. He'll be chipping down the hill now. Back over at 8.
And the 22-year-old from Raleigh and Clemson has this for birdie.
Studying actuarial math, and evidently got great grades. That's pretty impressive. Very similar putt to Clark's, just not uphill as much initially. That might have been a bit too defensive. Yeah, that early walk is not a one of I made it.
Some work left for the in that view. Back out to the 8th and Armour for birdie.
Downhill as well from this angle, not as quick to the hole, and right at the hole it'll fall left. Not all but the very end figured out, but a good putt.
Yeah, nothing wrong with making par here at the 8th. Not as menacing as it was back on Friday and even yesterday, but still long par 3, difficult hole.
So you got to make this, right, Denny McCarthy, after that shot?
Playing just short. Not many guys are going to run it up to this green, but that's what he does so well.
Until you brag about him on TV. And then he misses a couple of putts.
We got him yesterday, yes, but paid him off today.
Collectively. Yeah, what a day today.
Yeah. I'm not. I think that's still fine. It's still going to get hit, Armour.
Yeah. I think it's a hold with this.
And I agree with that.
Really held, doesn't it?
Yes.
4 left.
Correct.
129. Adjusted to 1. Will that be 43? Then you factor in the wind. He's going to hit an 8-iron. Hood it down, knock it low, and keep it from turning left. It's extremely low. I don't think he held it enough.
Yeah, he short-sided himself there, but the lie doesn't appear all that bad. Interesting that he was trying to hold that up, Justin. We haven't seen him hit too many fades so far this week.
And normally you'd think he's got the room out to the right. Plenty of room to draw it.
That's going, what would you say, we're going 60? Yeah, just right of it.
Yeah.
Low fade is one of the hardest shots in golf to hit. High fade, pretty easy. Low fade, for a guy who draws it, pretty tough for Armour now. Doc Redman, 9 yards closer, 120's actual to the hole, going with 8-iron.
Now, his natural shot is a little bit of a fade, so this should suit him a little bit more. But hitting off that upslope, generally it'll pull the ball toward the left. So let's see what kind of move he puts on it here.
Much higher in the air, little right of the hole, and going farther right.
Okay, that's not all that bad. Tricky hole location there at the 9th today in that back left corner. Now Clark.
111 for the very fast-playing Wyndham Clark out of that wispy, burnt-out Bermuda rough, which really isn't much of a factor. Oh, a tiny little short backswing and a punch shot. That's way right, though. He's not happy.
Yeah, that sure was interesting. Such a short backswing, and then really started to fire and left that club face behind him and the face open.
Snyder Jans this for birdie at the 10th.
And we saw the beautiful approach. Not much pace on that putt, but the line was perfect.
Been playing on the Corn Ferry Tour. Missed the cut in the last 2 events. Sponsors invite, and he comes here, and he's one off the...
Ryan Armour's 3rd here at the 9th.
Tilting his shoulders to match the slope here and opening up the face a little bit. That is pretty impressive technique. And he pulled it off nicely.
Yeah, that's really good there.
Pretty much uphill into the green. The green also moving a little bit from the right as well. So everything's going to swing left, especially as it nears the hole. But it's pretty slow. Absolutely clobbered it.
Yeah, gave that a good smack up the hill there. You could hear the sound of the contact. Still a little work left there. The 9th hole has given these final 2 groups a little bit of trouble. What's Redmond looking at?
Pretty much the same, just a shorter version of it. Love the story that's told about he and his dad when he was young. Putting didn't come naturally to him. It's still statistically last season was his weakness, but they devised a 3-year plan to improve his putting. For an entire year he worked on making solid contact. The next year, lagging it, distance control, and then the final year to work on breaking putts and creativeness. And that's some dedication to try and improve something, especially at such a young age.
Dedication and patience.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, swing in there.
Well, that fooled me too. But many of them have, as well as the players this week. Just so much grain.
I really like that routine there, the way he was drawing his eyes back down the line that he wanted to start the ball. And over to 13, Stewart sink for birdie here at the par 3. Keep going. Go. There you go. And that is a nice 2. Tee box all the way back there on the par 3, so that hole playing more difficult than it was yesterday. Back at 9 o'clock.
A little downhill, just the right center putt. Well, that good read. Looked like it was turning quickly, but it was firm enough.
Yeah, such a beautiful roll there. That ball was just hugging the turf. And what a start for this young man. Looking for that first win on the PGA Tour. Now Hearn for birdie at 11.
Nice spot. Thank you.
And that's a birdie there. Birdie at number 9, 7. What a great round he's got going. Now Armour at 9.
Just try to center, not much to it. But he doesn't, again, like we mentioned yesterday, doesn't throw these in the back with a lot of speed like Clark just did.
Yeah, right in the heart. Good pass save there.
And this one right here, the Western Shore, 14 under leading it earlier this week. Jerry